Well. The Meg spoke Spanish. Oh my goodness. And the sugars, they're having a meltdown. Some of them have even removed the Megan is fluent in Spanish and she's going to show you guys. Yes, don't worry. We're going to get to Twitter because it's brutal. There's some people actually who don't know much about her and they think that she's never said she spoke Spanish. They literally do believe Meghan Markle doesn't speak Spanish, has never claimed to speak Spanish, and therefore they're applauding that effort. Until, people do point out to them that for over 20 years, she has been lying, saying that she speaks Argentinian fluently. She's even had Nacho Figueres say, oh, she speaks perfect Spanish. She's had people say that because, and I mean, when she went to that kitchen, they said that she spoke in perfect Spanish. Now, when you speak a language fluently, like she says she does, that's a big difference than to say something like, for example, I'll give you, I used to speak a little bit of Polish because I dated a Polish guy. And I remember I learned quite a lot of phrases and I got quite good at speaking that. Jak się masz kochanie, jak ty masz na imię, ja mam na imię Paula, idę do pracy, sto spowyłamy wanymi nogami. I mean, I knew a lot of words and I could have some conversations. And, after hanging around my boyfriend for a long time, I kind of picked up some words, but I would never, ever go online or put on a CV that I speak Polish fluently. Okay. I would never do that. And she didn't do it just once. She did it repeatedly in different interviews. She claimed that she spoke French fluently. Then she changed it to proficiently. Speaking a language proficiently is still pretty high. Means that, and it's not a language that you would forget every word. For example, I speak English, Spanish. I think that I speak them both fluently, French proficiently, and Norwegian proficiently. Yeah. So I don't forget Norwegian. A lot of the Norwegian I've learned. I don't forget, French I've learned. I speak it atrociously, but I can honestly say, hand on heart, that I speak Spanish and English. Both languages, I speak them with a little bit of an accent. As Meghan Markle's sugars quickly point out, they mock my accent because they say I sound Spanish and blah, 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 right? So keep in mind that a lot of people online in Colombia defending Meghan Markle, they don't know that she has been lying for the past 20 years and doubling down on the lie that she's fluent in Spanish. Even in COVID, during COVID, she's been having people say that she speaks fluent Spanish. That is a huge difference between her and Harry, because Prince Harry, to his credit, has never claimed to speak Spanish. And he speaks better Spanish than Meghan Markle because they both learned the lines they were going to say that day. Okay. And to Harry's credit, his pronunciation is way better than Meghan Markle, who claims to be fluent. You can be fluent in a language and have an accent. I consider myself fluent in English and I have an accent. I consider myself fluent in Spanish and I have a little bit of an accent. So the accent is not the problem. The problem here is the pronunciation, the grammar, everything, the struggle to speak, even when she started, because inside information, she did have her earpiece and she was being told what to say, which is why she's speaking so slowly. Okay. I know that some people online are trying to figure out her accent, where her accent came from. There is no accent because this woman never learned Spanish. So we've gone from, she never mentions, she keeps going back to Argentina. I don't know why. Because in Argentina, she was there for 5 weeks as an intern, working as an intern at the American Embassy. And when you're an intern at the American Embassy, you are not interacting with the Spanish-speaking public. In fact, at the time that Meghan Markle went to Argentina, her father paid for her trip. Argentina was considered one of the most dangerous countries in Latin America. So she wouldn't have been advised to go out and do tourism. She would have stayed pretty much within the apartment and the embassy compounds, because the U.S. embassies abroad, most of them have it's like a little compound. And I know because I've been to the U.S. embassy in Argentina. Okay, I've been to the U.S. Embassy here in Nicaragua, and many U.S. embassies have been there, like a proper compound. And the entrance, they do not interact with the Spanish-speaking public because they don't have anything assigned. They fetch coffee, they do photocopies of certain documents, because if documents are confidential, they don't get to see it. Okay, they may, you know, arrange the furniture, they may go get something, but never. So Meghan Markle, in the 5 weeks she claims to have been in Argentina, and that I have no reason to doubt, because her father has said he paid for it, right? She would have been within the U.S. Embassy speaking to the Marines or married men that she had an affair with, whatever. So she did not learn her fluent Spanish there. So to me, it's baffling that she keeps going back to that period in her life as being the defining moment where she learned her fluent Argentinian. Now, why doesn't she say, because she said that she studied Spanish in high school for 4 years. She lived in California. She's bound to pick a word or two, but she doesn't talk about that anymore, because she used to say she spoke French and she learned French for 8 years and Spanish for another 4 years, and that she learned it in Argentina. Okay. Why doesn't she talk about the time? Because she apparently was an exchange student to Spain for 6 months in Spain. Yet she never mentions that period of her life. And I'll tell you why in another video. Because Meghan Markle was there to learn certain skills. Language was not one of them, if you know what I mean. So it's interesting, isn't it? So for those people who are defending Meghan Markle, it's because first, they didn't even know who the hell she was. They never heard of her. 90-some% of the people in Colombia didn't know who they were. They kind of had an idea, but did not know who they were. So they don't know much about this woman. And most of these people are poor. They only know what the government tells them because, you know, they're not big celebrities. It's not like they're footballers, you know, or anything like that. So they believe that Meghan Markle and Harry don't speak Spanish and that they made the effort to say a few words. Okay, keep that in mind. Before we continue with this, it is incredibly important that we watch or we read these. This is Meghan Markle's CV, curriculum vitae, her resume. This is what she herself wrote, okay, as her CV for people to hire her. Her height, she claims she's 5'6". She's not 5'6". Now she's saying she's 5'10". She is 5'2". And this is her CV back then. Film, A Lot Like Love, theater, Damn Yankees, Stepping Out, Into the Woods, Little Red Riding Hood, whatever. You know, I didn't even know she was in that Little Red Riding Hood thing. Into the Woods. Oh, it's a theater, sorry. And then she has her special skills. For special skills, fluent in Spanish. And I believe she wrote this thing in 2014. So it's less than 10 years ago. So she claims that she's fluent in Spanish. The reason why I want you, less than that. It's about 2010 that she wrote this. The reason why this is important is because she gave an interview, which I will show you before we get to the Twitter reactions. In 2014, when she spoke to the Ukraine University, she harassed them until they accepted to give her an interview. And she claims that she's fluent in Spanish, okay? And that she's even harassing the people in Suits to kind of play that storyline in Suits, but they refuse. Okay, so we're not talking that 20 years ago. In 2014, she's still claiming that she is fluent in Spanish to the point that she wants Suits to adopt that storyline that she's Latina or something like that because of her Spanish or whatever. So she's saying she's fluent in Spanish, French proficiency, dialects, Southern. I don't even know what that is. French, Spanish, Argentine. So this woman is fluent in Spanish, but then she also is proficient in dialect, Spanish, and Argentine. I have kickboxing, tap dance, ballet, jazz dance, and musical theater. It's important to highlight this because I know there's going to be a lot of Colombian people watching this video, and they're going to find out that this woman does not speak one word of Spanish. She learned everything she had to say. She memorized, and she had an earpiece just like this one telling her what to say. Again, if she didn't speak Spanish and if she had never claimed to be fluent in that language, in many interviews, I'm just going to show you a couple here. And these are recent interviews. The one that she gave to Jonathan Ross was in 2016. The same thing with Rachel Ray, because also she told Rachel Ray she spoke Spanish. That Jonathan Ross, I think I can't remember what his name is. We'll see the interview right now in Ukraine. Everywhere she's gone, even to her husband and to the royal family, this woman told them that she is fluent in English and Spanish. Okay. Now keep in mind that in order to graduate, because now they're changed their curriculum. Now they're saying that she attended the School of Communications at Northwestern, which is true. But they're saying that she double majored with theater and international studies, which is a lie. You cannot major in international studies if you're at the School of Communication. You have to be at the School of International Studies, that they teach that specifically. And she has never claimed that she double majored in international studies, because that is actually the main major. She's claimed that she majored in international relations, which is not the case. And even then, let's take her at her lie. Let's believe that her lie is true. In order for her to have obtained a major in international studies, it is a must, a requirement. It's a must that she has to speak at least 2 other languages perfectly, fluently, at a very high proficient level, which she doesn't do. So for all those people in Colombia who are praising her, I hope you understand that she is a big fat liar, okay? And it's an embarrassment that she's flaunting that lie. She's flaunting that lie because now she goes on stage, and because she's been reading what we say, she goes in and she feels that she has to speak Spanish. But what does she say? Oh my God, I learned it 20 years ago in Argentina and I've forgotten. I don't speak it. I apologize. You know, no, that's not what she's been saying up until yesterday. She's been saying that she's fluent, that she speaks Spanish like I speak English. Do I sound like an idiot? Do you think I forget English like if I'm fluent like this? I haven't spoken Norwegian in a couple of years, and I can't. And I'm not even, I consider myself proficient, but it's not that's my 4th language. And I can guarantee you, I can defend myself in Norwegian. Okay. So that is a big difference. So let's see what she has said in the past. Let's move into a couple of interviews for people to see.
That you maybe know some español, ¿no?
Sí, claro.
Claro.
And I speak like Argentinian, which is so different. Like it sounds musical, almost like Italian. Because I never learned it. I studied French for 8 years, and then I moved to Argentina, and suddenly it's like, mira, ¿de dónde sos? ¿Y cuándo llegaste? And you're like, oh, I don't know what are you speaking Italian? So yeah, I do. I always ask them to put it into the show for me, but they don't.
Number 1, she never moved to Argentina. Okay, when you move to a country, you live in a country. I already told you earlier on that her father, through his brother, managed to get her an internship, a 5-week internship at the U.S. Embassy in Argentina. Her father paid for absolutely everything. By the way, she doesn't mention how she ended up in Argentina. She never credits her father for having sent her there for 5 weeks. He paid for the trip, for the tickets, for the apartment that she stayed in, because she wasn't really like a proper intern. It was her uncle who got her in as a favor, because her uncle used to be a diplomat. So he pulled some strings and got her to basically vacation in Argentina. At that time, when Meghan Markle was in Argentina, Argentina was considered quite dangerous. So you were not going to be going around. So lie number 1. Number 2, she's even speaking there. Well, che, ¿cómo está, huevón? ¿Cómo está, boludo? Pretending that she speaks Argentinian like that, because she calls it Argentina. I do not know why this woman keeps calling Spanish or Castellano Argentina. You know that in certain Latin American countries, we say Español, or in others, they say Castellano, but it's the same language. But she's saying that it's Argentina. I have no clue about that. But you can hear her even saying She's so brazen that she even says that she wants suits, the show that she's working in as a cameo or a supporting actress, to include that in the storyline so she can showcase her fluent Spanish skills. That's a big difference.
Go to college. What did you study at college?
I double majored theater and international relations, and then I went and worked for the U.S. Embassy for a bit. And
Where?
in Argentina, in Buenos
That's
Aires.
sensational.
Isn't it
You speak
great?
Spanish?
I do now, but they speak
Right.
a very different kind of Spanish. It's Castellano, so it almost sounds like Italian.
Yeah.
That interview, for the Colombians who don't know, happened in 2015 or 2016. What? That's 8 years ago? Keep in mind that this woman has been saying and said to the royal family, and she has put to the world, it was so bad that because she told the royal family that, and Harry, that she spoke French, that when they went to an engagement one time, there were French speaking people. Harry goes, come on, speak French, you know, show them that you speak French. She couldn't even say, comment ça va, in French. Comment tu t'appelles? I mean, she couldn't even say one word in French. And she's like, lies. Okay. So this woman is clearly a grifter. So for people to defend her lie and for her to flaunt it, because we're going to see her, how she flaunts, she feels relieved because in her mind, there was no backlash. And I want to read you some Twitter reactions where people defend her, say you should be thankful that she made the effort. That is true. Harry made the effort, but Harry has never claimed to be fluent in that language. There's a big difference in that, guys. Now we're going to hear what this woman said in Spanish. And I can tell you, because I know a lot of people are wondering where is her accent, but she doesn't sound Argentinian. Yes, beautiful people, because she lied about that. She never learned Spanish. She never learned Argentinian. And I'm using that word. This is why when you saw her with Luisana Lopilato, and many of you know who she is, she's married to Michael Bubbles, or as I call him, or Michael Bublé. This is why when they went to British Columbia, Michael Bublé were there with Luisana. You can see there was zero interaction because that's another lie. Okay, so we're going to play what she says here, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat that she's lying.
Muy buenas tardes. Me gustaría empezar en español.
Right there, you can hear the struggle, because even when she says buenas tardes, and she has the earpiece because she's been told what to say. And even then, even if she wasn't told what to say, she memorized 1 minute. Some people are saying, no, she just winged it. No, this woman has been rehearsing this for hours and for days because she knew she was coming to Colombia. This is why you hear a lot of things. She's going to be dubbed. These things are going to be dubbed and they're going to be read out because her Spanish is that bad. Here, it was just 1 minute she had to memorize and she couldn't do it well. She feels pretty proud. Look at that. She feels pretty smug.
Porque estamos en su país, y mi marido y yo, y puedo sentir este abrazo de...
Este abrazo, okay?
De Colombia.
In Colombia, what is that?
Es increíble. Entonces, gracias, muchas gracias, porque la cultura, la historia...
It's not lo historia, es la historia.
Todo estaba...
It's not estaba, está o es bonito. Es bonito.
Como un sueño.
Es
viaje.
como un sueño.
Y perdona si mi español no está perfecto.
And forgive me if my Spanish is not perfect. This is where she admits her lie proudly. This is the moment where Rachel Meghan Markle gaslights the entire world, admits her lie, and she's semi-applauded. There were not that very many applause because people don't know that she's been lying.
Porque yo aprendí hace 20 años en Argentina, pero estoy tratando, porque acá
I learned it in Argentina, but I'm trying. I am trying.
Puedo sentir esta comunidad.
I can feel this community, but it's not it's esta comunidad.
Y este es el sentimiento que es.
Here, you can see, guys, that she's blinking because she's listening to what they're saying to her.
Lo mejor del mundo ahora. Entonces, gracias, vicepresidenta.
She couldn't even say vicepresidenta. Keep in mind that this is less than a minute speech.
Mi amiga,
My
muchas
friend.
gracias.
Another grifter. She's proud. I kid you not. This woman is so proud of lying to the entire world. That the fact that she can sit on that chair, on that stage, and admit that she's a big fat liar to the entire world and laugh about it, that's because she's been allowed to get away with it.
Y bueno, ahora en inglés.
And the reason why I'm telling you that she's listening to what they're telling her is because you're going to see, I think there's this moment that I want you to watch.
Es increíble. Entonces, gracias, muchas gracias, porque la cultura, la historia, todo.
There, she's blinking because they're telling her what to say. She's giving a little space when she hears that. There she's waiting. They're telling her what to say.
Estaba como un sueño este viaje. Y perdona si mi español no está perfecto, porque yo aprendí hace 20 años en Argentina. Pero estoy
She's listening and she makes time for herself, for what she's been told to say. So for people who still don't understand the grift of this woman, I feel sorry for you. I mean, and this is really embarrassing, guys. And I'm going to read you a couple of things here because it's actually quite sad. This is an article from the Daily Fail. And they go on, this woman goes on that stage and repeats so many lies. She claimed just in that 1 minute, she gave 2 lies. First, that she learned Spanish in Argentina, which is not true. There's no mention of her 6 months in Spain or her 4 years in high school that she claims that she studied Spanish, nor the fact that she claimed up until 2016, 2018, when she married Harry, that she was fluent in Spanish, okay? And that she graduated with a major in international relations. And I repeat, in case you've forgotten, she needs to be highly proficient in 2 additional language other than English in order for her to get that degree, okay? So, because international studies is a degree in itself, not a major. So here we go. And then she says she lived there. And then she said that she learned it. Now she says it's 20 years ago. And that, oh my God, it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years. That's not what you've been saying. So this is where we go there from the Daily Mail. And basically they go on. And then she repeats the second lie, that when she was 11 years of age, Procter & Gamble changed the soap, the entire multi-million ad campaign for soap because of her. Her father has come out and said that they never did that. Her father actually used one of his contacts at Nickelodeon because he felt bad that nobody answered her letters. So her father wrote the letters for response letter, because she sent the letter to Hillary Clinton, to Procter & Gamble, and to Gloria Allred. And her father, because nobody responded to her, he felt bad, and he wrote the letters back, the responses, the fake letters back to her, pretending that they were from Procter & Gamble, Hillary Clinton, and Gloria Allred. Meghan Markle is fully aware that her father is the one who wrote those letters. Also, Procter & Gamble, had it been true that they had changed the whole entire marketing campaign because of her, they would have chosen her to do that ad. It would have been a Procter & Gamble soap ad. But it wasn't. It was her father who pulled strings with a high executive at Nickelodeon who did that little commercial for his little princess, because he didn't want his little princess to feel bad. So she's here regurgitating again that lie. So this is Meghan Markle and Harry, Colombian's quasi-royal tour. Duchess speaks in Spanish, bad Spanish, during her Afro Women and Power Talk as she rolls out the same Procter & Gamble yet story again, despite eyebrows being raised about its validity. It's very funny how they write it. Why don't they call it a write-out lie? And let's not forget what Meghan Markle said on Netflix, that she was never treated like a black woman. So she didn't need to have that black talk. Okay, so for people who are still defending the grift of this woman, shame on you. But it's incredible, because we're going to watch something and we're going to get to the Twitter reaction, guys, because you're going to need a cup of tea or wine or beer, whatever, for that, because it is very brutal. You're going to watch Meghan Markle Probably here. Harry is actually making the effort to talk in in Spanish, but Harry is commended for the effort because a lot of the royals do that. They try to say a few words at least or sentences when they go abroad to a country. So Harry is actually he is making the effort because he has never claimed to be fluent or even to speak that language. So here we goes Harry.
Buenas noches, Colombia. Muchas gracias, señora vicepresidenta.
He actually said it better than Meghan, vicepresidenta, instead of vice presidenta. And his accent is actually pretty good. Well done, Harry. I will give you this. Henry Charles Albert David.
Can you help me translate?
Of course.
And he goes, can you help me translate? Because the poor sucker thinks that because Meghan said that minute of sentence, he believes that. And by the way, this thing, can you help me translate? It was all rehearsed. Okay. They both know what each is going to say there. So Harry this is all rehearsed, guys. They're not going to just go there and do it. This is all rehearsed. So Meghan knows what he's going to say, and therefore she's going to translate. And I mean, the fact that she is there, and this is all because he was flirting with that translator who's actually very pretty.
Claro que sí.
Thank you for your warm welcome.
Gracias por su cálida bienvenida.
And don't worry about trying to figure out her accent because she never learned Spanish. This is all practiced and rehearsed. Now, I just want to say that those crowds were not there for them. Those crowds were there to enjoy the concerts. They just decided to use that to portray them there. But those people have bought the tickets way before Harry and Meghan came. And this is usually a very popular festival. Most of them didn't know who the hell they were. In the internet world, they don't even feature them. They're just showing the concert itself.
Thank you for your beautiful culture.
Gracias por su cultura hermosa.
And thank you for your incredible hospitality.
Y mil gracias por su hospitalidad increíble.
And the funny thing is that Meghan Markle thinks that they're for her because this woman is absolute. I really do think that she has some sort of mental illness, that she thinks they're there for her because this is the moment that this woman, people are clapping and stuff because they're drunk and they're at the festival and just waiting for them to get the hell out of the stage so they can actually enjoy the music that they paid to come and see, right?
Me siento igual. Muchísimas gracias a todos y todas.
Her Spanish is atrocious, by the way.
Y disfruten la noche.
And Harry is such a poor, I don't even know what to say, guys. This guy is such a poor bastard. I swear to God, he really is that dumb. He really believes that this woman actually speaks Spanish. And I don't know what she's told him because, or he doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to know. So here we go to the Twitter reaction, guys. Okay. And I'm going to show you this. This is Jose Moreno. And you're going to see some guy actually trashing me. And you know what they go to? Oh, weren't you arrested for kidnapping your child? No, I actually won all the court cases. And my ex-husband is being investigated for false accusations and for lying to the court. Okay. So Meghan Markle speaks Spanish. This is what Jose Moreno says. During her visit in Colombia, forgive me if my Spanish is not perfect. I learned it 20 years ago in Argentina. We know that's a lie. So here you go. I answered back and I posted those two little things, right? And then I get this actor called Sergio Esquivel. I know who you are, buddy. And he's laughing at me because I didn't put the accents on the letters, right? And then she goes and says, she never said that she learned Spanish. And she sounds very fluid. He believes that she says that she never learned Spanish. She said that she learned Spanish 20 years ago. Sir, Sergio Esquivel, ella dijo que hablaba el español perfectamente en cada una de las entrevistas. Se lo ha dicho a todos los gringos con los que se encontraron. I'm speaking to him, guys, because I am going to tag him on this video. So if he hasn't blocked me. Because I did respond to him. And I said, you are dumb. She has been publicly stating for 20 years lying to the entire world that she speaks Argentinian fluently. She never lived in Argentina. Her father paid for the 5 weeks of internship at the U.S. Embassy in that country only. There's a big difference between I learned some Spanish 20 years ago than saying that she speaks that language fluently. Do you understand the difference? So instead of applauding a lie, you should denounce it. That was my response to this person. So, but here we go with the other one. This guy is also very making fun of her. Then we have here, let me see, sorry. And then we have here we go. La Reinita goes, it only took her three days to learn how to speak, and she's mocking her. 1 minute? That is nothing. That is not speaking fluid. That is not, she's not even speaking that minute fluid. If she spoke Spanish fluently, as her followers said, because I don't speak Spanish all the time in Colombia, and she's still using their earpiece. The fraud of the vice president and the fake duchess, Temu duchess, can be seen reflected in Prince Harry's expressions. Then he goes, finally, the sun is shining. All of the Sussex squad attacking us that we knew that her Spanish was awful or not perfect, and least of all with Argentinian accent. Case closed. So rehearsed, so fake. It's good that she wanted to say one word in Spanish, and because it's good that she at least said some words in Spanish, because she has to think that the Colombians paid for her trip, for her vacations to Colombia, without giving anything back. This doesn't even sound Argentinian, but she does love holding the attention of others. Such narcissist. Ñañaras means mierda, shit, full of shit, basically. And then this is Devito Lozano. He goes, people, instead of being grateful that she tried to speak Spanish, which is not hers, instead of criticizing her, what lack of respect. It shows how awful you are. Yeah, Devito, I got to tell you, Devito, that she doesn't, Devito, ella dice que habla el español con fluidez, que es diferente, que el idioma español es su segundo idioma con fluidez. Okay, so there you go. And then people putting the real royals. This woman is a fraud, Mackenzie Romy. And then in 2019, why are the Colombian taxpayers paying for a visit from this couple? The only reason for the visit is self-promotion. The VP decided to invite them and have the taxpayers pay for everything for H&M. None of the bill is getting paid by Francia Marquez, which is true. Vicky, how do you say cringe in Spanish? Not much applause. And then this guy goes, verga, habla muy bien el español. Shit, she speaks very good Spanish. Not K7, she doesn't. And then he goes, Kitty K goes, Kitty K aprendió, she learned Spanish in Argentina, but not even the accent Argentinian. It's clear that she learned that 1 minute paragraph, you know? And then this person, the Ranger's Nightmare, who's clearly Googling, translating. She learned Spanish in Madrid, but this is Google Translate, because I know this the Ranger's Nightmare. He's a Sussex what? She learned Spanish in Madrid. Now it's changed. Meghan Markle is saying that she learned it in Argentina. She never mentioned Spain. She goes, she learned Spanish in Madrid when she was studying in an exchange student. She practiced it at the U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires, where she decided to develop her Spanish. Is it hard for you to get the right information? So much critic. You're surely jealous. Adriana goes, but she doesn't speak it fluently. She omitted to say that in the video. And then Tweety May goes, don't you see that she learned that? She learned to say that. It's so funny. And Carla's saying, well said, Adriana. You know, so, and then Kitty K aprendió. Kitty K goes, she learned to speak Spanish in Argentina, but she doesn't have an Argentinian accent. Che is a very common word that they say in Argentina. ¿Qué pasó, boludo? Che. The lies, hey, and here she says boluda. Boluda is a word in Argentina. The lies never end with this, which I don't want to say the word there. And then Adriana, so she learned Spanish in Argentina. She doesn't have the accent. And then Adriana goes, the crown emoji is too much. She's not part of the monarchy. And she's not even British. She is only holding the title. Tweety May, the Argentinas don't use perdonad because Meghan said that. That's the Spanish that do that. She must have learned that when she landed in Colombia. And then he goes, Meghan, be serious, girl. And then Sol Ramirez goes, pero ella estudió en Argentina. She studied in Argentina, which is also true because she doesn't speak Spanish well. And then Nazarian goes, those 2 weeks in Argentina will never teach you anything in Spanish. Memorizing as an actress, that's a different story. And then Veronica Guzman goes, that accent is not Argentinian. And then Omadon goes, I don't understand why she's getting the rank of almost an institutional visit when it's a private one. And this, I literally, guys, I shit my pants. I was laughing so hard with this one. Sophia, listen, pretty soon our very flamboyant vice president is going to answer her back in Swahili. I was laughing so hard. And Sophie Watchmeister says, I'm a thief. I want to lie. And then LT goes, old lying bag. Do you want to see us? Do you want to pretend that we're stupid? And then Alturas the Brooklyn goes, I don't understand why you put a crown emoji and the British flag on your tweet. She's American and she's not royal. Oscar Fana goes, this girl is absolutely out of place. She doesn't want to do the work of the royals, but she wants the benefits and privileges of the life that this brings, which is basically what we're saying. And then Lady Angela III, is she planning to be future American president? Mira, and then Uzdia, I'm sorry, I hope I said it correctly. Watch what she missed to say, what she should have said. I am, I was, I will, I was, I am, and will be a fraud. This is too funny, guys. This is really, really too funny, guys. This one is really funny. Chaos Bringer Harry Brown mouthed it. Meghan be like, gracias por vivir en la casa, en la escuela. I mean, they're really mocking the hell out of it, you know, like, and this guy, what's his name? The British Prince too says the propaganda. Meghan Markle spoke less than a minute in Spanish, which she memorized as she's an actress, and the rest of the evening was in English. She's not fluent. It's more lies. Word salad, and her female staff suffer in silence with their NDAs. Now, I could go on with all of this, guys, but what's really telling here is like the audience is supposed to be all Colombian who don't speak English. Yet Meghan Markle spent the whole night after that 1 minute that she spoke speaking English. And those people don't have earpieces. And I'll tell you why that happened. Because all of the people who were there were her staff, which is over, I think she brought 22 or 24 people, the bodyguards, and people from Francia Marquez who speak English. There was nobody there because it was a pretty much a closed area. Nobody was allowed in. So nobody's asking, were all these people wearing earpieces? Of course not. None of them were wearing earpieces because they were all speaking English, because they were all part of the entourage Meghan Markle brought, along with Francia Marquez and the bodyguards and the military. So this was all for show. This was nothing really that for them to change. And at the end of the day, what do you guys think? So you don't need to find out where her accent is. I don't need to tell you where she learned Spanish because she never did. We don't need to rack our brains trying to figure out, oh, why isn't she speaking in Argentinian or in Spanish accent? We don't have to because she never did. That was another lie. And it's incredible that people are now, her Sussex squad are coming out and saying she never said she spoke Spanish.